video, we'll look at two beautiful ways to play both sides now. The first is a strumming version using two strumming patterns, and the second is a fingerpicking version using two fingerpicking patterns. Throughout this lesson, I'll be using my tenor with low G tuning. Now, if you have high G tuning, you can follow this entire lesson. Just keep in mind that your fourth string is one octave higher than mine, so the patterns will sound a bit different on your instrument, particularly the fingerpicking patterns, but they still sound beautiful with high G tuning. Now we're going to start with our play along, so you can hear the entire song using all four patterns, and then we'll move into our tutorial. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now, from up and down, and still somehow
uses 6 chords, so let's start by taking a look at our chord shapes and some tips on transitioning between the chords. Our first chord is G. Here we have our index and middle fingers on the 2nd fret of strings 3 and 1, and our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Then our next chord is C, and we can play C either with our pinky or our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So in this song, we go back and forth quite a bit between C and G. If we use our pinky for C, then we'll lift it up to place down our other 3 fingers for G. And if we use our ring finger for C, then we're going to move it down 1 string to go to G. So you can try both options for C and see which one you prefer. Next we have A minor, which is just the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And here you can use either your middle finger or your index finger. Then we have B minor. Now B minor is a bar chord, so this is the trickiest chord in this song. We're going to bar the 2nd fret across all 4 strings with our index finger. And then we're also going to place our ring finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string. Now I have a couple of tips for you on this chord. One is that you want your index finger to be right up against the 2nd fret. So not in the middle of the fret space, but right up against the fret. This will give you a cleaner sound. And also, rather than having your index finger flat against the fretboard, you want to rotate it to the side. This will make it easier to press against all 4 strings with more even pressure. Next we have D. To play D, we have our index, middle, and ring fingers on the 2nd fret of strings 4, 3, and 2. And then our final chord is D sus4. Now going from D to D sus4, we can simply place down our pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And then we can lift it back up to go back to D. Now another option to transition from D to D sus4, rather than using your pinky, is to slide your ring finger from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. And then you can slide it back to the 2nd fret to play D. Now that we've looked at the chords, let's take a look at how to strum the song using our 2 strumming patterns. Our first strumming pattern consists of 2 down strums, and this pattern covers 2 beats. Here's how the pattern sounds on a C chord. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Now one variation on this pattern is that sometimes you may only want to play the first down strum and not the 2nd down strum. Now if you do this, you have the option of playing this down strum as an arpeggio or a broken chord played more slowly so that all 4 strings ring out. You may find that sometimes on certain lines you may want to change up the rhythm a bit by only playing this first down strum. Our second strumming pattern consists of 4 beats. Here's how we strum this pattern. Down, down, up, up, down, 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 up, down. Now this pattern is very similar to the island strum, except we're not playing the final up strum that we find in the island strum. Instead, we're ending with the down strum on beat 4. So here's how we count the rhythm of this pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's look at how to apply these first 2 patterns to the song. We're going to apply pattern 1 to all of our chords that are held for 2 beats, and these chords all appear in standard font. Now pattern 2 will be applied to all of the chords that are held for 4 beats, and these chords appear in bold. Now let's take a look at the first 4 lines of verse 1 as an example. In line 1, we'll apply pattern 1 to all 4 chords, starting with G, then A minor, then C, and then G. Now in line 2, we're going to apply pattern 1 to B minor and to C, and then pattern 2 to our G chord. So starting on B minor, then to C, and then we go to G with pattern 2. In line 3, we'll play pattern 1 on our G and C chords. And then when we get to A minor, we're going to switch to pattern 2. And then in line 4, we'll play pattern 2 on both of our C and D chords. Now let's count the rhythm of these 4 lines at a slow tempo. So starting on G. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lines 5 through 8 of the verses are played the same way as lines 1 through 4. And for the remainder of the song, we'll apply pattern 1 to all of our chords in standard font and pattern 2 to all of the chords in bold. If you're finding this lesson helpful, then I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. Now, if you're interested in downloading song sheets or tabs, then head on over to my Patreon page. You'll find the link down below in the video description. Next, we'll look at how to fingerpick the song using our 2 fingerpicking patterns, patterns 3 and 4. Now let's look at pattern 3. This pattern covers 2 beats, and here's how it sounds on a C chord. We're starting by picking the 4th string with our thumb, then the 3rd string with our index finger, and then strings 1 and 2 together with our middle and ring fingers. Now the rhythm of this pattern is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. And now we have pattern 4, which consists of 4 beats. The rhythm of this pattern is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We're starting this pattern by picking strings 4, 3, and 2 with our thumb, index finger, and middle finger. Then we go back to the 4th string with our thumb, then the 1st string with our ring finger, then to the 3rd string with our index finger, and we finish this pattern on the 2nd string with our middle finger. And as we speed it up to a faster tempo, it will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's look at how to apply our finger-picking patterns to the song. We'll take another look at the first 4 lines in verse 1. Now throughout the song, we're going to apply pattern 3 to all of the chords in standard font, as these chords are held for only 2 beats, and we'll apply pattern 4 to all of the chords in bold, as these chords are held for 4 beats. So starting with line 1 of the first verse, we're going to apply pattern 3 to all 4 chords, starting with G, then going to A minor, then to C, and then to G. In line 2, we're going to stay on pattern 3, going to our B minor chord, then going to C, and now we change to pattern 4 on our G chord. In In line 3, we go back to pattern 3 on G and on C, and then we change to pattern 4 on our A minor chord, and then in line 4 we're going to stay on pattern 4 on our C chord and on our D chord. Now let's look at how to count the rhythm of lines 1 through 4 using patterns 3 and 4 at a slow tempo, starting on G. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the remainder of the song, we'll apply pattern 3 to all of the chords in standard font and pattern 4 to all of the chords in bold. And finally, I want to highlight how we end the song. Our very last chord is a G chord that's held for 4 beats. So here you could play pattern 2 or pattern 4. Or my favorite way to end the song is to play either an arpeggio or to pick all 4 strings from 4 down to 1. For more of my song tutorials using strumming and fingerpicking patterns, see this playlist here. Have fun practicing, and thanks for watching.